Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a video talking about some stuff that's going on about Season 8 of the Vampire Diaries, the upcoming, 8th and last season. Still mixed feelings about that, still upset and sad, but at the same time, it's the right time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they end it, so I have a lot of faith in how they're going to do it. But I just want to talk about some recent casting news that's come out about the final big bad of the series. As well as possible character returns we might see for the final season, and as well as apparently the first few titles of the first few episode titles have been released as well. So yeah, and I really just wanted to do this as an excuse to talk about the Vampire Diaries again right now. One of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm just pretty excited just to see how it's all going to conclude. It should be great. But yeah, so the main thing I wanted to talk about is, a big evil force we now pretty much have a face for. Her name's going to be Sybil, or Evil herself. Of course, Julie Plec and the others said how it's a new take on villains. It's rooted back all the way to the ancient times, apparently. So I really probably want to upstage the originals, I guess. But apparently the actress who has cast as her is named Nathalie Kelly, or Natalie Kelly. I'm not sure how she pronounces it. It varies from the people I've seen. But so yeah, she's been casted as Sybil, and I also released some other details about her. She's described as a power monger who manipulates her victims into twisted games and tests for her own amusement and glorification. And apparently, that being said, she's not all death and nightmares. She happens to have a few redeemable qualities. The site also reports that once you get past her cruel, murderous outer shell, she's actually kind of just like all of us. She only wants to be loved. So, of course, a lot of villains do have those other parts to them. We've seen that a lot in the Vampire Diaries. Klaus being the biggest example of that, but he's another discussion. Klaus is unlike anyone else. We know that. But how do I feel about the casting? I said before, I kind of wish they would have kept the villain as this beast, this monster and creature and such. But at the same time, I get that they'd want her to be fleshed out a little bit more past that. They wouldn't want her just to be like this monster who just try to kill, trick. So I get that they'd want to put a face to her, and of course she's attractive. You guys can look her up if you want to. She's also in the thumbnail picture if you can see it well enough. She's attractive, and I'm eager to see how she's gonna play it. It sounds really interesting. She could definitely be a fun villain. Compared to some of the last two we've gotten. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Natalie Kelly playing Sybil. What are your expectations for the villain going into Season 8? So yeah, there's that part of it. And something else I want to talk about is Nina Dobrev, of course. People just can't stop talking about her. And I think it was more like one of the, I forget if it was the producers or someone behind, or actually one of the main people from the CW there, saying how they've actually talked to Nina Dobrev about returning for the final season, or at least in the final episode. They didn't say how those negotiations went, but they're saying how they'd love to have her back. She did something special for the show and the network, when it came on and such, and they'd love to have her around again, even just involved in some way to send it off. But of course they're not going to say for sure if it's happening or not. They don't want to spoil it, but Julie Plec has always talked about how Nina Dobrev made her an emotional promise, saying she would, if there's something for her to do in the finale, then she'd definitely come back. Do I think she's going to come back? Yeah, she's going to come back. I think we'll see her again. I just think it's really essential to sort of wrap up the story for Damon and Stefan, and just the show as a whole. It started with Elena, and we should see her in the end in some way or another. Whether it's Damon dying, sort of crossing over, or maybe Elena will come in and save the day, and her and Damon go out together. Maybe I don't know, or maybe Bonnie makes the 100th sacrifice she's ever made, and Elena's comes back, and we see a flash forward or something. Flash forward's been brought up by some people. apparently Julie Plec and Kevin Williamson are divided on if they want to do a flash forward to end it or not. I'd like to see Bonnie happy, though. I'd like her to see not kill herself for once to save everyone else. But chances are she probably will. But yeah, I do think we're going to see Nina Dobrev as Lena again, in the final episode at the very least. I just think it's needed. I think Nina Dobrev is probably still willing to do it. I think it should be great when she does show up. Of course, personally, the inner part of me would love to see Catherine again. Catherine fucking Pierce, man. She's still one of my favorite characters on the show. Nina Dobrev did such a great job playing her. I was always impressed by how she could make Catherine and Elena feel like such separate people, yet they're played by the same person. Wow. And they are saying we'll see some familiar faces going around Mystic Falls in the final season, so if they have Nina Dobrev there, why not bring back Catherine, huh? I do think we need more closure with Miss Pierce. Just her being sucked up into that black abyss. No. It's Catherine, man. She'll be back. She's a survivor. I just love to see Catherine again. And who else would I like to see in the final season? There's also name brought up Sarah Salvatore, who we seen briefly a season or two ago. We found out Stefan was keeping her safe, looking in on her then, so I found out about her. She ended up surviving, though, and sort of just being compelled and such. It sounds like we might actually see Sarah again, which would be interesting with what's going on with Damon right now. I'm not sure to what extent she'd be used in the series, if she'd find out about everything and become like a main female character for the final season, maybe, I don't know. But it would be interesting. Who else do I think we'll see again? I think they'll bring in some big names. I think they will. I think we'll see maybe John, David Anders' character, John Gilbert. I think that would be interesting. I think we could see maybe Anna, Annabelle. Lexi would be great, even though she's thought to have found peace and moved on, but still she's one of the special ones. Maybe Jenna. Again, it's the same case as it was with Lexi, though. Excuse me. There's just a lot of them out there. I would love to see the originals and Vampire Diaries crossover again before it ends, but they just had some really good crossover stuff last season, and now the originals is in a different timeline, a few years ahead, going into their fourth season. I could do a whole video talking about that as well. But I did talk about some plot details a while ago about the originals. But I do think maybe we'll see some Vampire Diaries characters spill over onto the originals, or at least make an appearance or two at some point down the road. But yeah, so what you guys think about Nina Dobrev? If you think she's going to come back, she will. Come on. Who you want to see in the final season? And yeah. And the last part of it I wanted to talk about was the first few titles of the first 3 episodes of Season 8, I think. These could be wrong, but everything I've seen so far that I've talked about has seemed to be pretty legit stuff, so... apparently the Season 8 premiere episode will be called Hello, Brother. And of course, a lot of these titles are apparently going to be lines or quotes from the first season of the show, which is really cool. So Hello, Brother, when Damon first shows up at the Salvatore house at the end of the first episode. Episode 2 of Season 8 will be called Today Will Be Different, which is Lena writing in her journal or her diary. And then Episode 3 will apparently be called You Decide As Worth Saving. And that was sort of at the end of Season 1 where Damon thought he was talking to Catherine. They ended up having that kiss, him thinking it was Lena. But I really like Damon's lines there. Ian Somerhalder really acted that part really well, when he said, I'm not a hero, I don't do good. And then he says, I came into this town wanting to destroy it, and I found myself protecting it. That was a really great scene. That scene and him apologizing to Jeremy about what he did to Vicky really made the Damon character early on. That's probably when he was at his most compelling as well as a character, I think. But yeah, it's really cool that they're basing it off of lines from the first season. Really good little reference back to it. Full quote being somewhere along the way you decide I was worth saving. I wanted to thank you for that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that. The casting news about Sybil. Nina Dobrev, familiar faces you think we'll see return. Who do you want to see again? Catherine, please. My perfect ending, honestly, I don't talk about the shipping stuff too often, but let Catherine be with Stefan and have Elena go to Damon. That'd be great. But really, I'd just like to see Catherine again alive, and then just have her still exist out there. Don't get her killed again or sucked up into anything. I just want to know she's out there again. That'd be great. She's a survivor. Come on. It's Catherine Pierce, man. Anyway, catch you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me your thoughts on all of that. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe, and peace.